Hi fellow DIYers! Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a 3D shaker cake topper. In this project, I'm going to put a crown on top, but you can change it to whatever you prefer, like a 3D flower, butterfly, unicorn, or any image that you'd like to add. So let's get started! Open your Design Space app, click Text. I'm going to change the font to Impact. It's a bold font and it's available in Windows and Mac. But you can also use any bold font that you prefer. So I'm going to highlight the word text and type in the number. And without clicking the lock icon, I'm going to change the height to 7 inches. Now I'm going to click offset. Then I'll leave the offset to 0.25 inches and then apply. Now on the layers panel, you can see this text offset. We need 2 copies of those. One is for the clear acetate and the other one is for the shaker background. So click that and then click duplicate twice. So I'm going to change their color, and while the other one is still selected, I'm going to click color and then change the color to light gray, and that's going to be our clear acetate. And then right click and then send to back. And for the other one, I'm just going to change the color to light pink because that's the color of the cardstock that I will use for the background of the shaker. Now going back to this with the offset, select them and then click slice. Then delete the solid numbers, just leave the outline. And then I'm going to change the color to gold because I'm going to use a gold foil cardstock for the outline or the border. And then I'm just going to put them all together and then select all and then click offset. And then I'll just leave the offset to 0.25 inches. This is going to be the whole border for the cake topper shaker. So if you want the border a little bigger, you can adjust and increase the offset to the size that you prefer. Now I'm going to change the color of the border to dark pink because that's the color of the cardstock that I'm going to use. Now we're done with the number. It's time to make the name. So I'm going to click text and then type in the name. And then I'll change the font to Love Ya. I got this font from fontbundles.net for free with commercial use license. I'll put the link in the description box below. And then I'll click offset. And then I'll just use a 1-inch offset for the name, but you can make it bigger. And then I'll just separate the name and the offset. And as we can see, the offset is not solid and that there are holes. I want to get rid of those by using contour. So click the name's offset and then click contour. I'm just going to zoom it out so we can see the image. Now these represent individual cut lines. So I'm going to click those to hide them, and now they no longer show as part of the image and will not cut. But if you want the name offset with holes, you can leave it as is. I'm just going to change the color to gold because I'm going to use foil cardstock for this one. And for the name, I'm going to change the color to pink because I'm going to use a pink vinyl. And then I'll select them. Without clicking the lock icon, I'm going to change the height to 2 inches. And this is where I want the name to be placed. Now I'm happy with that. I'm going to select a crown image from images. Again, you can choose whatever you prefer, like a 3D flower, butterfly, unicorn, or any image that you like to use. So I'm going to click images and then type in 3D crown. And then from here, I'm going to choose this one and then click add to canvas. Now I'm going to change the size of this image to 2.5 by 3 inches. So click the lock icon and then I'll change the width to 2.5 inches. And then click offset. I'll leave the offset to 0.1 and then I'll click apply. As we can see, there's a hole in the crown offset. You can leave it or you can remove it by clicking the contour icon. And just like what we did earlier, I'm going to click that piece. Now I'm just going to change the color to pink because that's the color of the cardstock that I'm going to use. Now I'm just going to tilt the crown a little bit because that's how I want it to look like. Now I'm happy with that. I'm going to click make it. Now mat number 1 is our clear acetate. And for mat number 2, since I'm going to use foil cardstock for those in gold color, I'm going to move the crown piece to mat number 3 so they are going to be in the same mat. And for mat number 5, since I'm going to use vinyl for the name, I'm going to move it to a different matte color to cut it separately. Then click continue. Now for mat number 1, I'm going to click browse all materials and then type in mylar and then click that and then click done. Now after mat number 1 is done cutting, We need to change the material to medium cardstock before proceeding to cut mat number 2. Now before proceeding to cut mat number 5, I need to change the material to premium vinyl because that's the material I want to use for the name. Now this is the clear acetate that I'm going to use. I got this from Amazon. I put the link in the description box below. So these are the materials that I'm going to use. So glue the acetate and the outline first. So I'm going to use Aleene's tacky glue. When gluing it, I would suggest to put just a small amount of glue because you don't want it to bleed out and it would be visible because of the clear acetate. But even if you mess up, you don't have to worry because you can clean it with a window cleaner or a glass cleaner and a cloth or paper towel. So now I'm going to clean it with a window cleaner, and this is what I'm going to use. Now I'm going to use this foam tape to seal the sides. So I'm just going to use this little trick to help me cut this foam tape a little easier. I just put it on a parchment paper and then I'll cut it. This way the tape will not stick to my scissors when cutting it. Now I don't like how thin the space is for the small pieces to move around in the shaker, so I'm going to add another layer of the foam tape to make it a little thicker. Now I'm just removing the backing of the foam tape. Now I'm just applying another layer of foam tape around the number. So these are what I'm going to put inside a shaker. Now I'm just removing the backing of the foam tape. I'm going to use this parchment paper trick to apply the name to the offset. I really like this trick, and you can also use this when layering vinyl images. Now I'm going to use foam tape to attach the shaker to the border. I wouldn't suggest to use glue because it leaves visible wrinkles to the back of the shaker. And there you have it! If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. All feedback is welcome and any feedback is good feedback. Please subscribe to my channel and check out my other tutorials. See you in the next episode of DIY by Sass. Thanks for watching!